Today I took Xena out to Majestic Oaks in Ocala, Florida, and my goal was to cross-country school, working on moving up to training level. And it's not just about the size of the jumps. Working on moving up to training level means really getting a good quality canter that's forward but still balanced and powerful, and being able to get back to that canter after long gallops or in technical questions. My coach Claire is excellent with helping us warm up for that. We do a lot of rubber band exercises going forward and back and really working on power while also containing the power and keeping the balance. So here, coming up to just this tiny little beginner novice jump, that same idea of allowing her to have power and also having balance and allowing her to kind of flow. So through here, what we were really working on is kind of she's forward thinking right here, but then I'm going to start to sit, put her together, ask her withers to lift, and then allow her to carry that balance all the way down to this little tiny novice jump. She was excellent for that. So what we need to work on next, and I love her gallop here. She is so fun to gallop. Like, just as a quick aside, look how fun she is. She's just so much fun to just flow down and gallop along. So she's a really cool horse. But anyway, back to the subject. Putting her together and really asking her to lift and then go forward. I did that again here, and she actually got kind of sticky and added to that little beginner novice table. So I gave her a little kick on landing and said, make sure you're in front of my leg because we're going to be jumping a lot bigger stuff than that. And then we went ahead through the water and came around again to jump another table. So over this table, I was like, get more forward. And then she left kind of long, and you can see she's like, wee. So again, working on finding that balance. The tables are getting bigger. The canter's getting a little bigger. I have to actually put her together and not choke her down to the fence, but also not just allow her to go flying out to the fence. So I'll talk a little bit about how to get that done in just a second, but here she is cantering right up the bank out of the water, which I was really happy with. And then going back down the bank into the water, which she leapt pretty big into the water. It was pretty comical. As you saw at the beginning of the video, she really took me over that, which I was really happy about. And then we came back around and did that one more time out of a little quieter canter so that she would lightly step down into the water instead of leaping out. We want her to lightly kind of step down into the water because we may have things coming up quickly after the bank, and we don't want her rider, me, to be all over the place and discombobulated and unable to put her together for the next part of the question. So a little quieter canter, get her a little closer to the base, soften the rein, and allow her to just kind of snake down. That was much better, so now I have a much better canter for what's coming next. So let's talk a little bit about how we get that correct canter. So as I'm cantering along, she is carrying me. She's always in gear. She should always feel like she's in some sort of gear and taking me somewhere. I shouldn't have to push her for it. And I'm allowing that flow to happen. And then when I would like for her to sit down and use herself and use her butt a little bit more, I'm going to actually sit up and use my core and put my leg on and ask her, good girl Xena, to put her hind end underneath herself, lift her wither, but then keep coming forward with power. And that's how we start to teach her, you can gallop, 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 and then find some balance and come down with power and balance. So here, again, lovely there that she was able to come down to the jump with that power and balance that we're talking about. So in practice here, we're galloping forward, we're allowing her to flow and cruise, and then as I come around the corner, and you'll actually hear in the video some that my coach Claire is going rhythm, 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 keeping a rhythm, sitting up, asking the hind end to come under, and then allowing that powerful balance to flow down to that larger jump here. Good girl, right over that larger jump, connect. We're not allowed to run flat out to ditches. And then same thing, land, a little bit of balance, but allow the power to keep flowing. And lovely up and over the out. So next we're going to take that same principle of allowing that power but still balancing it and flowing down to the jump. And we're just doing the novice combination here, which is a table and then a left hand turn to a corner to prep us for the gigantic training level table. That thing is huge, to the training level corner. So she was really rideable here. Good girl over the little novice corner. And then coming down to this humongous training level table. I actually got a great shot this first time. She was very good. So then we decided to put it together with the training corner. And then again to this training level table, which we got a little bit underneath at that time, but I asked her to come back to me and kind of wiggle her butt, use her back, and come down to this training level corner. That was pretty good. She was a little bit braced. So just for good measure, down to this corner again. Good girl, Xena, just to make sure she's confident. And then we're going to try to put that combination together one more time. So this time I really pulled down to it, which was very bad, Patty. But we made a good recovery where I was able to sit her down, put her together, and then allow her to flow down to the corner really well. So even though it wasn't the best table ever, it was still a good flow down to the corner. So here we are jumping over a big modified roll top, prepping to go down to a modified skinny. And that's, same practice. We're putting a canter together that is rideable and then seeing if we can take that canter down to a skinny jump. And you saw she fought me a little bit there, but then she came back and she was super over the little modified skinny. So really feeling good about being able to put that canter together. Now the next test for the canter is a tricaner because you really have to have her forward thinking but still in a good balance, which she was lovely for. And then same thing, can I get that canter back? And she did fight me a little bit, but can I get it back and then take it down to this novice chevron, which she left a little long, but not bad. And then same idea over this training level tricaner, and she really landed big there, so I really had to be like, whoa, you've got to come back to me, girl, you've got to balance, and then allowed her to go over this training level shark's tooth jump. So really happy with her for that, and the fact that I'm getting way more confident putting her together. Even when she jumps big and is kind of running with me, we are able to put it together and then go down to a relatively large jump. So we ended cantering down to this modified skinny, and I was just thrilled with her. She was so fabulous today. So hopefully, if you were looking for pointers on how to develop that training level canter, this was hopefully helpful for you in the video. Just a quick recap, you're allowing the power to continue flowing, but you're changing the balance, asking the hind end to come under a little bit and coil the spring so that you can flow down to the jump without having to pull at all, and maybe with a little supportive leg to keep that nice, beautiful, powerful canter flowing over the jump. And as you saw in the video, sometimes I got it right, sometimes I didn't get it right, but that's all part of learning and figuring out what you need to make that next level comfortable and capable. So next up for Xena, she'll be doing a jumper show on Wednesday, so a couple days from now, and we're going to try to attempt to go training level height there, and as we continue putting the pieces together, hopefully we'll be able to compete at training level very, very soon. We are first doing a novice in a couple weeks just to make sure that we have all our puzzle pieces together before we go out at training. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and let me know how you're doing with your horse or what you're working on, and I'd be happy to do a video or talk with you about it. Absolutely love thoroughbreds, so if you have a thoroughbred, give me a shout.